I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this cute little treat bag with products from Stampin' Up, and I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I'll have the free detailed directions on my website. You'll also be able to click the links for the products to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using the whole plaid Tidings suite. It comes with Celebration Tidings and the Celebration Labels dies, and you've got this really, I think there's 48 sheets of plaid paper, and it's got wonderful paper for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, or just everyday paper in here. Wonderful, and of course it's got two sides of these papers too. Just wonderful collection of paper. For this project I wanted this plaid to show, but it does show red on the back, so I'm going to do it a little bit different. So all I'm going to do is actually just fold it in half. And I didn't try folding it in half before. You could certainly cut it in half and then stick the pieces together back to back, but I think it'll work out just fine this way. I'm going to score it at 2 inches. And I am going to go ahead and use the bone folder to get good creases here. I didn't mention on my list, I'm also using the 3x9 printed gusseted cellophane bags. These bags are a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut off at 1.5 inches. Make sure you're cutting off from the top so that you don't end up with a tube. That would be terrible. So all you're going to do is tuck this into the bag and press it all the way down. And then allow it to open up so that it's flat here on the bottom. I think it's helpful to put some tear and tape on that little flap there, just to hold it flat. It will help your bag stand up later. And now I want to fill this with shreddies. I don't know what you call that stuff, that shredded paper filling. Several years ago I saw somebody else with one of these. You can buy these at Amazon for like $15 if you just say hand crank shredder or hand paper shredder or something like that. So this is a half sheet of cardstock, and I cut that in half, and I also cut off my 3/8 by 2.5 inch strip, and this is Bumblebee. And I also have a 1/2 inch by 2 3/4 strip of Old Olive. So before you shred it all, you want to do that. And you just put it in here and crank it through. And a 1/2 sheet is plenty. You could, of course, buy pre-made shreddies, but if you just kind of rub it and roll it and crunch it, it will fit nicely inside. And of course, you can put whatever treats in here that you want. It will fit just about anything. I'm putting in some of these little M&Ms. And we'll just set that aside. We'll work on our label. Celebration dies are really handy. So whether you're using the spiders and the hearts and the little swirls or not, I love these labels. And I have what I call taggers for all of the labels and the layering circles and all of those. And I find these helpful for deciding what size I needed. And so I found that this tagger fits this stamp nicely, and it also fits the bag nicely. So this is the number 3 Celebration Labels dies. As a demonstrator, I was lucky enough to order the Stampin Cut and Emboss machine. It's a mouthful. I need a better name for it. But I love this little machine. It opens up. It comes with the platform with your sandwich instructions. And it comes with, and these are all numbered, it comes with a die cutting plate, and that's a number 2. I will need that. It does fit the old cutting plates, but the new ones come with numbers on them, so I will need 2 of the clear plates. It also comes with the embossing plate. This is the number 4. I will not need that for this. So I said I needed the number 3 die, so that's this one. And I have a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. And anytime you're putting any dies through a machine, if it's got a straight edge, it's really better to have it kind of at an angle if you can. So I'm covering it with the top plate. And this machine just feels so smooth and sturdy. I don't know how to describe it other than smooth. It does a really nice job of cutting. In fact, I tried it with one of the more detailed dies, and it did a beautiful job of cutting this. I was so impressed. The one thing I have noticed is that machine does tend to kind of bend these dies a little bit, and so they're real easy to gently bend them back. You don't want to like fold them. And I want to score this here. Maybe you've been around long enough to remember the top note die. This reminds me a lot of the top note dies because you can use them as a whole die, and you can fold these nicely either way, and we are going to fold it this way, so the long way across the top of your trimmer, and just score that. I'm using Memento ink, and I'm using a pumpkin, and I want to place the pumpkins as close as I can to that crease. And then there's kind of a coordinating one, and I want to go down low. And you can kind of use those kind of lumps of the dies to get it fairly straight. And then I'm going to stamp my greeting, always grateful. And that is a tight fit. The photopolymer makes that pretty easy to get that straight. If you can look straight down at it, I'm going to go ahead and stick that to my old olive while I'm here. And I see I got it a little bit long, so I'm going to just snip that off. So the colors I'm using are from the Regal's Stampin' Write markers. I'm using Cajun Craze and Old Olive, and from the 2020-2022 in color Stampin' Write markers. And I'm using the Cajun Craze to color the pumpkins. This looks really dark when you first put it on, but it does lighten up as it dries. And I'm using Old Olive. And I'm using the cinnamon cider for the pumpkin stems, and I just realized there's a couple of more leaves up there. And the bumblebee. There's some more. I don't know if these are leaves or flower buds, but I'm using bumblebee. These are so small that probably don't even need to color those. This is the 3/8 inch embroidered ribbon. This comes in the suite, and it is so soft and shiny. It's beautiful. I need about 9 inches. I'm not measuring that, but about that long. Actually, let me show you what I need. I need it to hang over about 1 inch and to wrap around the back, so I need it about that long, and I want 2 of those. I am going to put some adhesive between the 2 stamped sections, and I want the center of this ribbon to be right at the side. And you can move this around later if you want. I just want to be able to kind of hold it where I want it. I'm turning it over and putting some tear and tape. I think probably the Stampin' Seal Plus will work here too. But I know that the tear and tape will, so I'm using tear and tape. So I just need to fold this over and put this side in the front. Oops, I'm not quite straight here. And fold this over the back. And then I'm putting a little bit more adhesive on the back just to hold that ribbon in place. Tie a bow with the linen thread around the ends. And you do want this tight. And you can tighten up this ribbon just by tugging on it. And I'm using the Stampin' Seal Plus on my label, and there you have it. A very quick, easy project to give a treat to all the kids in the neighborhood, or maybe all the people you work with, or even as a place-setting gift. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Under Shop, you'll find products from Bev, frequent shopper points. If you click Products from Bev, you'll find out how to share my Evernote notebook, a completely searchable catalog of all the current products, and I have taggers. You can give a name to each one of those dies. I also have a cardstock sampler with all of the current Stampin' Up! Colors. And if you've purchased one in the past, I have an updater with all the brand new in colors. And if you're getting one now, I have a backdater so you can get last year's in colors. And I have a fine tip glue pen replacement tips. So if your glue pen tip gets clogged, just swap it out. I have heavy duty reclosable bags. There are some for the 6x6 papers and some for the 12x12 papers. And you can get a bow maker from my friend Gidget. Under Inspiration, you can scroll my projects. You can scroll through the basics. You'll learn what's special about Stampin' Up! Stamps. You can learn about our color families and all the wonderful products that come in the color families. Some ideas for coloring. There's information about cutting, including how I store my card bases and layers. If you're wondering about all of our new adhesives, there's all kinds of information about those and some of my favorite tools. Under Getting Organized, you'll find a link for my stamp case slips, product labels, large labels, case inserts, a lot of color tools, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, catalog tabs, a quick reference, and a wish list with a catalog index, basic toolkit to go, and a little compact desktop tool box. You can tour my craft space. Under color tools, you can make your own cardstock sampler with labels here. There's a DSP divider, and there's a quarter sheet size DSP sampler. I have lots of color charts. I have a sponge dauber case insert, color wheel, a color chart with autocorrect and RGB codes. Under Sip Together, if we ever get a chance to meet in home and craft together, you can find about my next classes, and you can find out how to join my team, where you can save money or make money. Almost all of those resources are free. More organization means more time for crafting. Talk to you soon. Bye.